Thomas Alive Today presents
Maas Brothers. Abe and Isaac Maas started their retail career in Cochran, Georgia, working with their brothers, Jacob and Saul. By 1880, Abe was operating a store in Dublin, Georgia, and Isaac was operating a millinery store in Ocala by 1885. In 1886, Abe decided to move to a better location and chose Tampa, at the time a small village on Florida's west coast. Abe had been quoted as saying, "It's a waterfront town. Who knows? It may amount to something someday." Abe Maas opened the Dry Goods Palace on December 10, 1886. His brother, Isaac, formally joined his brother on September 15, 1887, and the store became Maas Brothers. After outgrowing its first two locations, Maas Brothers opened its third, and largest, store in 1921. This store was the second largest department store in Florida, and it contained the first escalator installed in Florida. By 1929, Maas Brothers dominated Florida's west coast. It was known as Greater Tampa's greatest store. In 1929, Abe and Isaac Maas sold Maas Brothers to Hahn department stores. Maas Brothers gained the buying power of the 28 department stores while Hahn gained the addition of another successful chain with a loyal customer base. In 1935, Hahn department stores changed its name to Allied Stores Corporation. Despite being owned by a national company, Maas Brothers was still operated by the Maas family. In 1935, Isaac Maas, who was serving as chairman of the board, died at the age of 71. Abe Maas, who was president, became chairman. Jerome A. Waterman, Abe and Isaac's nephew, became president. Jerome joined Maas Brothers in 1907. Abe Maas died in 1941 at the age of 86. In 1948, Maas Brothers opened its first full-line branch store in downtown St. Petersburg. Other branch stores opened in downtown Lakeland in 1954, downtown Sarasota in 1956 and downtown Clearwater in 1961. Maas Brothers opened its first mall store, in 1965, in the Edison Mall in Fort Myers. By 1981, Maas Brothers opened its 17th store in Gulfview Square Mall in Port Richey. This was the last Maas Brothers store built. In 1985, Maas Brothers absorbed the Savannah, Georgia-based stores of fellow Allied nameplate Levi's of Savannah. In 1986, Maas Brothers celebrated its 100th anniversary. It was in the same year that Canadian real estate developer Robert Campeau completed his takeover of Allied Stores Corporation. As part of liquidation and cost-cutting, Maas Brothers was consolidated with a weaker Jordan Marsh Florida franchise on Florida's East Coast in 1987. The plan was that the stronger Maas Brothers would help the weaker Jordan Marsh. This brought the total number of combined stores to 39 throughout Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. In 1989, the official store name was changed to Maas Brothers/Jordan Marsh. In 1988, Campeau launched a successful takeover battle with Macy's for Federated department stores. Ironically, Federated would acquire Macy's in 1994. With the acquisition of Federated, Maas Brothers' former rival, Miami-based Burdines, became its sister store. As with the Allied acquisition, in order to cut costs, several back-office operations for Maas Brothers, Jordan Marsh, and Burdines were consolidated. By 1989, Federated and Allied were struggling to make its debt payments incurred from the takeovers. On January 16, 1990, Federated and Allied filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Several underperforming stores were closed, including the flagship downtown Tampa store in February 1991. As part of its plan of reorganization, the Florida operations would be consolidated and several stores would be closed. The Maas Brothers/Jordan Marsh headquarters was closed and consolidated with Burdines in July 1991. On October 20, 1991, the Maas Brothers stores officially became Burdines. The majority of the former Jordan Marsh stores were sold off since they competed directly with Burdines. Burdines, along with the other Federated divisions except Bloomingdale's, were converted to Macy's in 2005.
Now in progress, Maas Days are savings days. You'll find savings in fashions for women, great styles for men, and famous names for children. Sales on beautiful housewares for gracious entertaining, furnishings to make a room come alive, and home fashions to put your personal touch throughout your house, all at the lowest prices of the season. These are Maas Days at all 19 Maas Brothers stores.
They'll know you found it at Maas Brothers.
Of course.
If you have any fond memories, please indicate it at the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and like.